Maps. Gorilla Tag has a lot, and today I'm going to be ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10 gorillas. So let's jump right in. Starting with Forest. Every map has its pros and cons, and I feel like Forest is one of those few maps with very little cons. There's nothing to talk about that's negative on this map, other than that there's just a cluster of trees in the middle of the map. That's about all the cons, I would say. The trees are placed in perfect spots for branching. Not much to talk about. It's the map that everyone plays on, so lobbies are never empty. It's a competitive player's dream with how many mechanics you can do on it. Just overall, it's a good map, the original map. I'd have to give this map at the very least 6 out of 10 gorillas because of all the trees at the middle of the map. But other than that, I'd say it's almost the perfect map. I gotta give it 8 out of 10. Now it's time to go to canyons. Now I have mixed feelings on canyons. It's the map with the second most glitches, but it's still a fun map. I gotta say, I used to think it was one of the worst maps in the whole game, right next to caves, but now I think it's probably one of the better maps with the revamp. The revamp really changed the entire map. It added zip lines and ropes, and it added so many more places to run away. It's really just all around a good map. And a zipline going around the entire map, let alone the improved music from the last one, no longer creepy. And you have all the buildings to try to run away from lavas. It's really nice. I like it. It's just overall a good map. And with the winter update, you can go on to the ornaments now, and it's super fun. Everyone there is really nice. I have to give it maybe 7 out of 10 monkeys. Simply 3 words. I hate caves. When I say hate, I mean hate. It's an okay map, but at the same time, there's nowhere to run. You can't escape anywhere. You really can't escape. There's barely any room outside of the caves or the mines, whatever you want to call it. Barely any room to run anywhere. Sure, you can do slip slap on that water slide. Other than that, there's nothing to note of, other than the big crystal. There's nothing good about the map, but there's nothing bad about the map. Overall, it's not a good map. I mean, at the very least, there are 2 spots where you can go underwater, and 3 spots where you can just hide, but that's about it. Everywhere else is really, really small to fit through. And the piano is so annoying. You can hear it from across the entire map, so it's kind of hard to listen for lava monkeys running towards you. Otherwise, there's nowhere to juke. There's a place where there's a bunch of pillars, but those pillars don't really let you go anywhere. They just let you juke, and even then, juking won't get you very far. Overall, pretty bad map. Probably one of my least favorites. It was better beforehand. Plus, at least with the old one, there was mini games. With this one, you can't play any. Which, I mean, who plays mini games anyway? But still, it was a nice add-on if you get bored of the normal Gorilla Tag. It's really bad. Have to give it 3 out of 10. Clouds. You know, Clouds is like that one cousin that you don't talk to at the family reunion. You know, it's really... What can I say? It's, sure is a map. Yeah, that's about all I can say about it. Yeah, it has a lot of those green vines, whatever those do. They don't really add too much. It was the first map to ever introduce wind barriers, which those are nice. And the first map to ever introduce moving objects, which is good. But Gorilla Tag hasn't really utilized that since Clouds came. There's those shops, a lot of detail to Clouds, which is really nice, but at the same time, when no one plays the map, it's really hard to admire that detail. It's only where minigames, kids, and role players go. even in the video that's on the screen right now, even on that, this isn't even a full lobby. And I feel like it's such a big map, it's kind of hard to see where everyone is. It's hard to know where everyone is. It's hard to find the last person. It's not a good map. It's worse than Caves, I feel as though. And it's kind of like the back end of Gorilla Tag. No one really uses it. No one really uses it. And no one really plays it. And I feel like it deserves more love from the community, but at the same time, it's kind of like such a bad map. There's nothing that can really save it. Plus, the developers of Gorilla Tag kind of half-ass the decorations for every time they update the game for the seasons, which is sad to see, but there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, that's all I can say. I have to give it 1 out of 10 gorillas. Mountains. I've got a lot to say about mountains. It's, started off my entire channel. It was the first map I ever, like, genuinely played, like, a lot. Mountain is really, it's honestly a really fun map. Once you learn all the ins and outs of mountains, you can never really get tagged. And there's a lot of glitches and a lot of mechanics here. The map introduced ice physics, which is nice. I think it introduced ice physics. It was either that or it was the red walls on Forest. I think they used to be ice as well, or that was just a mod that I remember. But, you know, the not iconic, but, you know, chase up the hill with that one guy, or that one juke that I did up here. That was pretty cool. You know, it's nice. It reminds me of the old times of my channel where I used to just only play mountains for videos and stuff like that. When I used to use that weird old yellow color code. But nostalgia out of the way, feel like with mountains, you can't go wrong with it. It's, you know, it's a map where you can't go wrong. I don't know. It's just a map where so much ice, it's kind of hard for it to be unfair, because ice is just something in this game where it's anyone can learn it in 3 minutes or so. So I feel like it's such an easy thing to learn. Anyone can do it in this game. So I think it's a good starting point for most players, and as well, it's the spot where I first learned how to pinch climb. So that's nice. And it's like, you may think from all this stuff, oh, mountains just doesn't sound like a bad map, I might have to play it more often. Or you might hear me talking about all these nostalgic moments, or at least for me. And you might think, oh, I might have to play mountains when I first start the game. No, don't. It's like, mountains, if you've been playing the game since the revamp or before that, then sure, go for it. Play mountains all the time. But if you haven't played it since the revamp or before, don't play mountains very, like, you can learn it, but it'll be kind of rage-inducing because it's so difficult to play mountains and not be good at it. Or it's so hard to learn mountains because everyone that plays mountains is already actually insane at it. They're either really good at mountains or they're really new to mountains. And there's no in-between. And it's just, I feel so bad for the new players that try to learn mountains, but it's kind of hard to play mountains. It's really, really hard to play mountains. And mountains, in my opinion, is the most toxic map in the entire game. I have not ran into a single nice person on mountains yet. And it is just awful that people are like this on mountains. Since it's such a cool map with such cool and iconic mechanics. It's just, it hurts me that it's like this. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's such a good map, but at the same time, it's such a toxic community. So, if you're fine with the toxicity and you're fine with getting demolished for like the first month, go for it. But for me, Mountains is probably a 4 out of 10 monkeys. I like the map, but just it's too much. Finally, an okay map. Let's go. Alright, now with beach map, the one problem I have with it, well, actually, there's quite a few, but one of the biggest problem with it that I have, it hurts my arms after 5 minutes so badly. It's so annoying. That's the only thing, or one of the only things that's wrong with it. The other thing that's wrong with it is that not the water, everyone that's good at the game is already really good at the game. Like this guy. He's insane at water running. It is weird to me how good they are at water running. And the map has only been out for a couple months now. Well, actually, it's been quite a while now, I think about it. But with beach map, the reason why I like it so much is because the rope at the start of the map, or when you enter the map, is like an anti-noob thing. Noobs, like, people that are bad at the game can't go up that rope. So it's good because there's barely anybody that doesn't know how to play the game. And minigames kids don't go in there because there aren't any minigames to play in beach map. It's a really good map. It's just kind of like what happened with Mountains. It's just that everyone that plays the map is already really good at the map. That's the only problem I have with it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. And sorry for taking so long to upload again. Hopefully you liked this kind of, I guess, Jack No Ham style type video where there's not much editing, it's just really voiceovers. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, see y'all later.